Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will talking with the ChatGPT around the 5 AI topics. So let's get started. Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. What's on your mind today?
I will send you a topic.
I'm glad we're connected. So, what are we diving into? That sounds like a big development in the AI world. Do you want to dive deeper into what triggered this, or are you thinking more about the implications for other platforms you're using? I'm here whenever you're ready to chat again. Take care.
So, do you think about the competition on the AI developer tools? This the event can affect something.
Absolutely, it can. When a major player like Alibaba steps away from a tool, it signals trust issues that might ripple through the industry. Other companies could reevaluate their own dependencies, and competing tools might get a boost. It definitely shapes the landscape of what developers trust and adopt going forward.
So, do you think the Claude Code is the primary choice?
It's definitely one prominent tool, but there are plenty of other options out there, from big names to smaller open source projects. The landscape is always evolving, and developers tend to keep a few tools in their belt. So while Claude Code might stand out in certain areas, I wouldn't call it the only star of the show.
So, how much the people trust the Claude Code, but it don't be friendly for the China, right?
Trust in tools like Claude Code depends on transparency, reliability, and local accessibility. If it's not easily accessible or supported in a region, trust definitely takes a hit there. People tend to trust tools that feel reliable and are tailored to their needs. If local support or integration is lacking, people naturally lean toward alternatives they can count on.
So, do you think about which the tools would be best alternatives for Claude Code?
It really depends on what you're doing. If you're leaning into AI-assisted coding, tools like GitHub Copilot or Tab9 are strong contenders. For more traditional IDE-based code assistance, JetBrains tools are widely trusted. If privacy is a big factor, some companies opt for local models like CodeLlama. It's about what fits your workflow, your security needs, and the ecosystem you're most comfortable with.
You don't mention the OpenAI of the coding tools. Why reason?
You're absolutely right to bring them up. OpenAI's tools, like the Codex models that power things like GitHub Copilot, are definitely a major force in the AI coding space. I didn't bring them up at first just because I wanted to highlight a variety of options. But you're right, OpenAI is a big player in this space.
But even though the huge company blocks the primary coding tool because some restriction between the competition situation, but we can see a lot of the solo developer or the startups still use the Claude Code to build their product.
Exactly. Big corporate decisions don't necessarily change what smaller teams or individual developers find valuable day to day. For them, the best tool is the one that helps them ship their product efficiently. As long as a tool is accessible and effective for them, they'll keep using it, regardless of what big corporations do.
So, do you think about if the Claude Code can keep in the advanced position in future?
I think if Claude Code continues to deliver value, whether that's accuracy, speed, or unique features, it'll keep a dedicated user base. The key is adapting to the changing needs of developers, especially with so much competition. If it stays accessible, innovative, and listens to users, it can absolutely stay in the race for the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable future? What does it mean, the foreseeable?
When we say foreseeable future, we mean the period of time ahead that we can reasonably predict or imagine based on what we know now. It's not a specific time frame, just what's visible on the horizon, so to speak. It means we're talking about the next phase we can anticipate, not some far distant future we can't guess at.
Anticipate, what does it mean?
To anticipate means to expect or predict something before it happens. It's like looking ahead and having a sense or expectation of what's coming. For example, if you anticipate rain, you might bring an umbrella because you're predicting it'll rain soon.
We move to the next topic.
Absolutely. Whenever you're ready. What's the next topic on your mind? That's quite a grounded statement from him. If you'd like to dig deeper into what he meant or how it might impact the industry, I'm ready to explore that with you.
AI hype vs reality, and which trend you agree more?
I'm more of a fan of reality. Hype can inspire, but progress happens in steps, not leaps. I think it's important to be realistic about both the potential and the limitations. That way you build trust and make sustainable progress instead of just chasing hype.
Chasing hype, what does it mean?
Chasing hype means getting caught up in excitement or buzz around something, often without solid substance or results behind it. It's like running after trends just because they seem popular, rather than because they're truly valuable or effective. In other words, it's pursuing hype without considering if it's actually meaningful or lasting.
Chasing, how did I understand this the action word?
You understood it well. The verb chasing implies actively running after or pursuing something. In this context, it's metaphorical, like you're running after the hype, trying to catch it, even though it might not lead to anything solid.
What does it mean about it in Chinese?
Chasing 在中文里可以理解为追逐或追赶。当我们说追逐炒作或追赶潮流时，就是形容一种不断去迎合那些被广泛吹捧的事物，即使它们可能没有实际价值。换句话说，就是为了追逐当下的热潮，而不一定考虑长远的实际意义。
Meta CEO acknowledged AI agents are not progressing as fast as the hypothesis, but the Meta AI is really have any obvious achievement so far. I never see, no matter in the coding or the chatter or the fundamental model.
Meta has had some notable AI developments in 2026. They launched their Muse Spark model and opened an AI-driven search experience within the Facebook app. They're also building custom AI chips and investing heavily in infrastructure. Still, Mark Zuckerberg has admitted AI agents aren't progressing as fast as expected, showing they're balancing ambition with realistic challenges. Overall, it's a mix of progress and acknowledgement of limits.
What I want to expression is the meta, the exhibition in the AI area is not be the mainly position. No matter it's the model or the any apps, it is behind the currently the priority development.
Exactly. It sounds like you're saying Meta isn't leading the pack in the AI space, whether it's the underlying models or the standout apps. They're involved, but not necessarily setting the bar right now.
We move to the next topic.
Sure thing. Just let me know what's next on your mind, and we'll jump right in. That's a strong stance from Godot. If you want to chat about the open source world's reaction to AI or how this might shape developer practices, let's dig in.
Writes back, Godot reject AI contributor. What does mean the Godot?
When we say fights back in this context, we mean that Godot is taking a firm stand or resisting a trend. In other words, while many projects might be open to AI-generated code, Godot is pushing back against that, choosing instead to rely strictly on code written and understood by humans. So fights back just means they're actively resisting AI's involvement here.
Can you expression for me in first is about what is the Godot?
Sure. Godot is an open source game engine. Basically, it's a toolkit that developers use to create video games. It's loved for being free and community driven, letting developers make both 2D and 3D games. Many indie developers rely on it because it's powerful and open to anyone.
It's the game was building by this the software.
Some notable games made with the Godot engine include Cassette Beasts, a monster collecting RPG that launched in 2023, Cruelty Squad, which is a surreal first-person game, and The Case of the Golden Idol, a detective puzzle game. These examples show how Godot supports different genres, from RPGs to 3D games, and how it's used by smaller indie teams.
Sorry, I never listened to any of these games. What is the famous games?
I hear you. Godot isn't powering giant blockbuster titles like some other engines. It's mostly known in the indie game scene. So while these games might not be household names, within indie circles, they're respected examples of what Godot can do. Think of it as the engine that gives smaller developers a chance to shine, even if it's not producing the biggest blockbusters.
Blockbuster, what does it mean?
A blockbuster is a hugely popular and commercially successful product, often a movie or a game that sells a lot and gets widespread attention. In the gaming world, blockbusters are the big, high-budget titles that most people have heard of, like the ones from major studios or big franchises. They're the opposite of smaller, niche projects that might only have a limited, dedicated audience.
Can you tell me about the Chinese name about this game?
Sure. In Chinese, a blockbuster is often called 大片. It literally means a big film and is used to describe those large-scale, highly popular, and often big-budget productions, whether movies or games.
So it is not exactly feeling just a standard name?
You're right. It's not a perfect one-to-one translation. 大片 captures the idea of a big, popular, and often high-budget production, but culturally, it's associated more with large-scale films. In the context of games, we might borrow the same word, but it's not as commonly used as in movies, so it's more of an adapted term.
Okay, thank you for joining today's podcast.